Okay, welcome back to the Prison Architect How To. Last episode we covered getting your prison up and running, and you can see we covered a lot. We have our foundations built, we covered materials, we have our basic administration center done, and we also covered utilities and grants. Oh, and the bureaucracy screen. So we covered a lot. That's leading into us creating our first, our Basic Detention Center. So that's the other grant we took last time. As you can see, we need a few things here. We need a holding cell, a shower. I'm actually going to pause this because we need to do research. A yard, a kitchen, a canteen, at least 2 guards, and we need to hire at least 2 cooks. Now here we are back in our bureaucracy screen. We actually don't need any of this for this episode. I am going to take extra grant and land expansion because we're going to need those later. Maintenance should be done this episode. We'll cover that in the next episode. Also, health and well-being. So hopefully our warden researches a lot while we're taking care of this. So for cells, basic requirement for a cell is for it to be 2 by 3. You're going to need a bed, a toilet, and of course a door. So I build mine like this, essentially an L-shaped wall, and I do 16 per one of these blocks, 8 on each side, and these will be our main cell blocks within our larger block. Now it's kind of slow and tedious building these at first, until you have the clone tool later. Oh, look at our workers. It's nice having a ton of workers. Don't have to worry about money. So we get the cells built out, and we're not going to worry about this end right now. One other thing we do need are solitary cells. Now, for solitary, and I'm actually going to use the playing tool. Use the playing tool if you're just starting out. It's definitely a great tool. But you can use it to kind of plan everything out. And I know I want my solitary cells to be, they just need to be 1 by 3. Don't have to worry about them as much with spacing. So we're going to want a few on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll add an 8th just to kind of match what we did with our main cells. So I knew it. I know I need that for my foundations. So we'll build this out. Now, when you do this and you cover an existing wall, it's actually going to demolish that wall. However, if you do it this way, it'll keep that wall intact. So we're going to do it that way. I don't want to really rebuild that whole wall. We'll put another jail door in there. I did put that in right? Yeah. So that'll be our solitary, and that's where your prisoners go if you want to punish them. There's also prison policy, which we'll set later. We'll cover that later. But prisoners also have automatic punishments, and each block should also get a large jail door. Now, the reason for this is you want to kind of limit movement in case there's a riot or anything, so we'll place a bunch of these large jail doors. And as we place them, we're also going to leave them locked open. You don't really need them for day-to-day, but again, if you have a riot, you may want to. You can hit this handy lockdown button, everything locks, but we don't need that for now. So as I said, the basic requirements are a bed and a toilet for your cells. Now you can get more fancy later, and we can kind of get into that later. Prisoners can get rewarded by having nicer cells. We're just starting out real basic. We'll do a bed, and then we need a toilet in each one. Now, I could just stop there and add a door onto each. But what I like to do, just because I have issues with the showers and prisoners getting into fights sometimes, I'm actually going to place a shower head in each cell. Now, my prisoners are going to just shower in their cells each morning. And that's just to kind of keep them segregated in the morning. I seem to have issues with the morning and them being angry and grumpy, so to speak. So do that. But because we're doing that, and also because they can bust their toilets up and cause leaks, we're going to put a drain on each door to the cell. And this will keep the water from getting out here and making a mess of everything. And then, of course, the last thing you need, not a large jail door. You could do that, I guess, but we're going to do just a regular jail door on each cell. Now you can see that flashing water sign, the water drop, and that's because we need to run small pipes to our toilet and our shower head. So we already have our large pipe ran, so we'll just go back and forth. and use small pipes. Now, I've been told, and I believe it, that a large pipe, you know, helps prisoners escape when they're digging tunnels. The small pipes won't. And you can go up to 40 squares, I think, with the small pipes. I don't really do that. I don't really have a ton of problems with prisoners tunneling and following the big pipes. But you can do that to help prevent tunnels. They end up digging through, they dig tunnels through the toilet, so they almost always form at your toilet, or the tunnels are always at your toilet for the entrance to the tunnel. They exit different places, especially if you catch them. If you catch them digging, like if you do a shakedown in the middle of the night and you catch them digging, they will just pop out wherever they're at that time. And one thing, I don't know how we got an entrance down here in that finish, but not up here. We'll put large jail doors in here. And then one other thing we'll worry about that later. So we'll put large jail doors in there, and this will be a 2-wide hallway. We'll just finish that up. So we build our first cells, and I actually kind of did this a little backwards because you actually don't need that for your basic detention center. What you do need is a holding cell. So a holding cell just needs to be 5 wide, 5 by 5. You can see here, I'm doing 5 by 5. And you just need a couple things for your holding cell. We're going to do a couple benches. You need benches, and you don't need phones, but it does suggest using them. But you also need, just like your main cells, toilets. So we'll run a small pipe down there. And then we'll actually mark that off as our holding cell. And you can see it's highlighted in white since this is for the grant. The one other thing that's not a requirement for the basic detention center, but I like to add, is a reception area. Now this will provide an area when your prisoners first come into the prison where they'll get searched and they'll be given new uniforms. And for that you need a table for the uniforms. We're going to put a couple in, because you can run instances where you bring a lot of prisoners in, so we need the space. The one other thing you need for reception is a desk for your guards, and a chair. Place that there. It's good to leave a gap for, like a walkway, so that's kind of how we place that. Next thing we need is a yard. We'll build the shower last. What I'm going to do is build a temporary shower just for the sake of fulfilling the requirement. So we'll go to the yard next. Now we actually need, again, for this foundation to finish, we need a jail door. Did 4, right? 1. Alright, that'll be our jail door. Now, like I said, this is going to be the main hub of your block, and you want to kind of make pathways for your prisoners and workers to walk. So we're going to use paving stone, just like our main entrance, and we're going to just place it here for now. Now, there'll be more pathways as we build this out, but we're going to start off with the basic first. So for your yard, you don't actually need anything specific. But what I like the place, you want to keep your prisoners entertained, and you want to give a place, the telephones fulfill their family requirement, and we'll use weight benches to fulfill exercise, and radios for recreation. So the way I like to place this is we're going to put a phone booth at each doorway, on each side of each doorway. And then we're going to put tables and benches here for them to relax on, and then we're actually going to do benches and tables over here. Whoop! Right there. Right there. And then this will be a bigger gap. So between, we'll have another set of benches and a table here. So between those, I like to put a radio for the entertainment value. And then for exercise, we need weight benches, and I put those right at the intersection here. So this central area will get mimicked across the whole way. We'll actually need another, this will be another walkway here. Those are 2 wide and then 9 for a gap. Another walkway, and they'll cut down the trees as I do this. Another walkway way there. And now these are all even. These will all be 12 wide blocks. Now one thing that you should know is when trees are cut down and you're placing materials, the stumps get left and the materials never get placed, so you actually have to put the materials in again, and then the workers will get rid of the stump and place the materials down. So we'll place doors all along here, and as you can see, this will be our main hub, where prisoners need to walk out and get to other things in the cell block. And we'll separate out different sections. Now, this area will be our first canteen. We'll actually have 2 in the block, and this will be our kitchen up in here. And I'm doing this because this is how I measure it. 10 wide, and we'll need another wall here. Whoop, and that's a gap for the doorway. So our kitchen will be up in here. These will be cells actually here, and these will be our canteens. So we'll place our first canteen. This is where our prisoners will eat, and the kitchen, of course, is where their food will be made. So to finish out the canteen, the objects we need are a serving table. So we'll place a few of these along here. Place some on this side as well. Now the other required items are benches and tables. So I don't mind placing the benches right next to each other. I don't want them up against the serving table. I do want to leave some gaps. The problem is with objects is they slow your prisoners and workers down, which can be both good and bad depending on what your desires are. If you want to make them move slower or faster. But we'll leave some space. Just for ease of movement. And then one other thing that's not required but suggested is trash bins. And this is an area where we get a lot of food trash, so it's not a bad idea to place trash bins there. It'll help get it collected, and your workers will come and pick up the trash bags later. For our kitchen, we're going to need sinks for washing the trays. I'll place usually 3 of each item in my kitchens. So got 3 sinks. Then we'll do 3 fridges, 3 cookers. Again, I'm leaving a gap here for ease of movement. And then you can actually place another cooker, another fridge in the middle. I think I should do 2 more cookers and 1 more fridge. Now for these, you will need to hook these up. So far, I've been just placing the utilities, the power lines. All these lights get hooked up automatically, but for anything like appliances like this, you need to hook them up directly. So we'll run that up. Now they each, as you can see, have a cable coming off the end, so they'll help connect stuff up on their own. But you do need to connect in critical places. And we also need water run up to our kitchen for the sink. And they just need to be connected by small pipes again, just like the toilets and shower heads. But that will be our kitchen. And while we're at it, since our canteen's going to be dark without power lines, we'll run that up. And we'll take care of this one at the same time. As you can see, the lights are actually coming out from that power line in there, but I think once the door's placed, that'll cut it off. Oh no, it is placed already. Okay, so we got our yard, we got our kitchen, we got our canteen. Now we need 2 guards, and I'm actually going to hire 6. Usually for a big cell block I need 25, but we're going to just hire 6 for now, just to fulfill the requirement and get started. And then, again, for a cell block this big, I like to have 6 cooks, and that I won't expand later. That's maxed out 6 for each block. If you decide to build like an auxiliary kitchen, you know, to help feed all the other kitchens out and feed all the canteens in your prison, you will need more cooks. And your prisoners will also cook in the kitchen once we get to education. Looks like we missed the door here. So we'll place that. Now the last thing we need is a shower. And just to fulfill that and knock out. Now it's good to wait to do this last, because if you dismantle it, it'll uncross it. It won't be crossed off on the list anymore. We're going to do a little shower in here. And it's actually going to be a cell later, but just for now, And for the shower, we just need a shower head. If I was going to build a real shower, I'd use drains and shower heads and walls to get as many shower heads in as possible. But like I said, I kind of gave up on doing that just because I always had issues with them and prisoners getting killed. Especially if you have protected prisoners, it seems to be a problem. So we'll actually remove that. And for dismantling objects, you can either click on them and then hit dismantle, or you can use the dismantle object under the objects menu to get rid of it. So we'll actually dismantle that shower head. Okay, and we'll pull out, we finished our grants, so we can take some more. The next one we're actually going to do cell block A and prison maintenance. And now we can take 3 grants, so we're actually going to do the health and well-being as well. And we should be researched up on that. We do have health, we do have psychology. The episode after that, we're going to need patrols, so we'll do security. I don't know if we can click these yet, nope. So we should research that. So yeah, that's our basic detention center. We have everything we need. We have our canteen. Now this alert, don't worry about this just because we have no prisoners yet. And you know what? We have some time yet in this episode, so we can set this to take our first prisoners. Now, we have 16 cells. We're going to take 8, just so we can take a steady stream in. And they'll come at, your prisoners come at 8 a.m. every day. You don't get them throughout the day. You just get them at 8 a.m. And you can choose what kind of prisoners you'll take in, how many you want to take in. So you can be a little bit more precise with how your prisoners come in. We're going to take both normal and minimum for this. And we'll also get some protective ones along the way, just because there's no way to prevent that. You just get protective prisoners. So that's our episode on the Basic Detention Center. I'm Jabber1008, and looking forward to seeing you guys next episode. Thanks for watching.